Hi, this is Anya from Live Love Raw, and today we're going to be doing a slightly different video because I'd like to talk to you about the types of equipment that raw foodies use in their day-to-day lives. And specifically, I'd like to talk to you about the food processor, which is a piece of equipment that personally I can't live without. And I've recently been on a journey to find what is the best raw food processor out there. And the search came up with so many different results, whereas with the blender it's easy, everyone knows it's Vitamix. With the food processor there's just so many different options and you got to do so much research to find which one's got the best features. So the one that we came up with is the Breville Kitchen Wizz Pro, or if you're buying it from the UK it's called the Sage Kitchen Wizz Pro, which is same thing, different names. But basically it's an Australian company who's just seems to have ironed out all of the problems that the usual home processors seem to have. And I'll be going through all these features and I'll be giving you 2 free recipes that you can easily do at home with your food processor. This food processor's main strength is its 2000 watt induction motor, which as some of you may know is incredibly quiet, incredibly strong and really reliable. In fact, it's so reliable that it's actually under warranty for 25 years, which is like insane. So now we're going to work our way from top to bottom, and I'm going to take off this lid and show you just how exceptional the chute is. It's 14 centimeters wide, so you can basically fit like half a zucchini in there and make loads and loads of lasagna slices at once, which is an amazing thing for a raw foodie to have. And as a cute little extra feature, if you take this out, you've got a little measuring jug inside. Next I'll take you through the bowls, and yes, there are 2 of them, which is probably one of the main reasons why I got this one, because I find it so important for when you're making raw food. If you live by yourself or just 2 people, sometimes you just want to make a little bit of sauce, and it doesn't really work sometimes if you run the whole processor. You need to make like a large amount. So you have one inside the other, which is super handy in my opinion. This one's got 600 milliliters. And this one's got 2.5 liters, which is an absolutely incredible amount. You can do a lot of stuff with this one. And they have separate blades that you use in both, and I'll explain them in a second. At the front of the machine, you'll see the controls are very, very simple. You have an on and off button, you have a start and pause button, and you have a pulse button. And lastly, there's a little timer, so you can actually set it to, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute, and just wander around for a bit. Or if you don't want to set it, that's fine as well, but it will just tell you how long you've spent processing something, which is kind of a cute little feature too. The Kitchen Wizz Pro comes with a really great accessory box, and you can even store it in 2 different ways, like this, or like this, depending on what's more comfortable for you. Now, as you can see inside, it's really, really well organized, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about the blades right now because I'd actually rather show you and get on with the recipes. But there's even little labels that show you where everything is supposed to go, so you're not going to get confused. So the first blade I'm going to take you through is the adjustable slicer, which is absolutely incredible because it basically replaces the mandolin, and especially more so because the chute is so large. And I'll show you here, it goes up in increments up to 8 millimeters. And as you can see the blade moving, there, that's 8 millimeters. And we're gonna do rolls today. So I'm gonna set it to 0.5 millimeter thick, which is gonna be tiny, tiny, but for rolls, the thinner they are, the easier they roll. So we're gonna show you how to do that in a second. So I'm gonna put the blades in and show you how to use them. You can turn it on, and now we're going to put our half a zucchini in here, and like I mentioned, this one's going to be super thin so that we can make nice and thin rolls. And it's got a safety mechanism that it's not going to start unless the chute is actually in, which is great. And we start. And that's it. Let's take them out and see what it looks like. So this is what we have. Super, super thin zucchini slices. Now, of course, if you wanted it for lasagna, you can make it bigger, but this is great for what we want to do today. So now that we've finished our zucchini slices, we're going to start cutting all the other vegetables. Now, what do you usually put into rolls? Well, pretty much anything that you have lying around in your fridge. So I'm going to show you how to use all the different cutters using a bunch of different vegetables that I have at hand right now. We're going to start with the chip cutter, which usually people would use to make chips, but I guess a raw foodie won't really be needing that, so we're going to try it with something else. Let's see. We're going to try it with a red bell pepper. 2 seconds. So what do we got? A couple of really nicely sliced peppers. Next, I'm going to show you how to use the julienne slicer, which is slightly smaller than the chips. And for this, we're going to be using a cucumber. A whole cucumber, look at that. Turn it on. As you can see on the timer, it says 1 second for one cucumber. Amazing, right? Look at this, how beautiful. And lastly, out of the discs, we have the reversible grater, standard type of thing. We're going to use the big one now with some carrots. That's it. So here's a quick little summary of what we've just done. Zucchini slices and the different cutters. I mean, just look at these carrots. How beautiful is that grater? So we've got most of the ingredients now ready for our rolls. The one thing that's missing is, of course, the sauce. So this is a great opportunity to try the mini bowl. So we use the mini blades for the mini bowl. And a very, very simple sauce you can just use with some macadamia nuts. That's maybe just under a cup in there. Then we've got some olive oil. Some lemon juice. And lastly, a bit of salt. That's it. You just pretty much do it by eye. It's a very simple recipe. And then it goes into a bowl. So we've finished all of our components now for our rolls, and so we can start assembling them. Now this sauce is very, very basic. I mean, feel free to experiment, add some spices and fresh herbs, whatever you want, yeah? So let's put a bit of sauce down. Now the veggies. And we just roll it up to a mini roll. So we move on to our next recipe and our final blades. Now I don't know about you guys, but with my last food processor, there were always a few ingredients that always left chunks. Things like sun-dried tomatoes, like dates. There was just always one little bit that you end up picking out. With this one, you've got no problems. Why? Ta-da! Double blades. I mean, this thing is absolutely incredible, especially when you're making a lot of stuff. Like if you're making dehydrated crackers, for example, you want to use as much space as you can, and this really helps. It's also fantastic for making things like almond butter if you don't have a Vitamix, or tahinis, or whatever it is that you usually do with the processor. This really helps. So we're gonna do a very basic brownie recipe with you guys right now using the double blades. We got some walnuts in here, maybe a cup and a half. Again, it doesn't matter so much about the measurements, I'm just doing this by eye right now. And I've got about 1, 2, 3 dates, medjool dates. I'm putting them whole like this, no cutting. And we've got a bit of cacao powder. Let's try that. So we finished that. Let's have a look inside. Let's take out the plates. And let's have a look at the consistency. So if you take it like this in your hands and it actually sticks together, then you're pretty much done. If you wanted to add a bit of sweetness now, you could, or some spices or anything else you like. Like I said, again, it's kind of a base recipe. So what you do now, you just put them in some brownie molds and that's it. You got brownies in like, what, 3 seconds? As a final note, you should put these in the fridge or in the freezer if you want to. That way they'll solidify and you'll be able to get them out of the mold. Well, we finished our recipes and our demonstrations, and I hope that you enjoyed that and found it useful. I just wanted to show you the last 2 things that we have in our box that we haven't used. That's a dough blade and a whisk. Now, honestly, I haven't used them yet, but if you find something that you can use it for, please comment below. And just last 2 things, a spatula to add to your collections and a nifty little cleaning brush. And that's it. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this video, and I really do hope that you found this demonstration useful. Now just remember that there are so many different food processors out there. I'm sure that you'll find the right one that best suits your needs. For my needs this year, this was the best thing that I found. But if you're, for example, just starting on your raw food journey, then there's absolutely no need to spend 600 euros on a food processor. Something that costs like 100 euros would do you just as well. So please have a look around and find the best one that works for you. And if you like this video and you'd like some more raw food recipes, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.